Hello students, very warm welcome to physics class. So today we are going to discuss about the inertia and its type actually. So we are just continuing from our previous class. So let's come to the type of inertia, means inertia and its type. So we have already discussed what is basically inertia. Here we are discussing its type, inertia and its type. Its type. So there are basically three types. So first we are discussing about the inertia of rest. So what is basically the inertia of rest? So you can say that if body is at rest, that will be remain at rest until we are not applying any force on that object. Or you can say inertia with rest is said as a it is it is inability inability of a body by virtue of which virtue by virtue of which it cannot move by itself, or in other words you can say it will move only and only if there is an external force. Means a body at rest a body at rest remains at rest and start moving cannot start moving moving on its own due to inertia of rest. Means it's only the inertia of rest which is preventing to move the body. Okay, so if we'll apply external force, then body will start moving. Means you can say if acceleration of body is a zero, means if it is at a rest, then the force acting on a body will be also zero. If you are just means making force non-zero, then acceleration will be there. Okay, so we can see what are the different applications. So there are different applications of it. So the first application is passenger feels passenger feels backward jerk backward jerk when bus start moving suddenly. So you can understand in a way. Suppose any person is there that is standing on the bus, okay, and bus starts suddenly moving. So once bus will start moving, the person will feel the backward jerk because the lower part of the person, that is means just attached with the seat of the bus, will move in forward direction, and the upper part which is free to move will try to be at its position. That is a means it will try to be at rest. Okay, so in case of the second example or second application, you are saying means when horse starts suddenly, then the rider, okay, the rider feels backward jerk. At that time, rider also feels the backward jerk. It's only due to the inertia of rest. In another example, you can say if you are shaking means just the branches of the tree. So due to the inertia of rest, the fruit will start falling down. When branches of tree are shaked, then fruit start falling. Fruit start falling downward due to inertia of rest. So this is all the application, or you can say the example of the inertia of rest. Means if body is there which is at a rest, it will remain at rest जब तक उस पे कोई external force ना लगाया जाए. अगर external force आप लगाते हैं तो it will try to resist the change of state. Okay, so this was all about the inertia of rest. Coming to the another, that is a inertia of motion. So first we'll see what is basically the inertia of motion, and then we'll see the example or application. Inertia of motion means if body is in motion, then it try to be in a motion. It try to be in a motion, and the inertia of motion actually resists its change of state. Means if it is trying to just stop, then the inertia of motion will resist to stop. Okay, so we can say it is inability of a body, inability of body in a motion to stop by itself. ये अपने आप नहीं रुकेगी, ये अपने आप नहीं रुकेगी. इसको रोकने के लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? एक्सटर्नल फोर्स लगाना पड़ेगा. मीन्स और यू कैन से और a body in uniform motion a body in uniform motion can neither get accelerated or get retarded on its own. ये अपने से नहीं होगा. Due to inertia of motion. It's only due to the inertia of motion कह सकते हैं कि अगर inertia of motion के कारण ये बॉडी अगर यूनिफॉर्म मोशन कर रही तो ये एक्सेलरेट ना होगी ना रिटार्ड होगी ड्यू टू इट्स ओन. It's only due to the inertia of motion. Okay, so it cannot come to rest on its own. ये अपने आप से रेस्ट पे भी नहीं आएगी. It cannot come to rest on its own. ये अपने आप रेस्ट पे भी नहीं आएगी. इसके एप्लीकेशन, if we are discussing about the application of these, so applications, what are the different applications? So if any ball is basically thrown upward in moving train, so the ball will remain, means the ball will come in the come in hand of the person which throws who throws the ball in upward direction. So it's only due to the inertia of motion. Because अगर आप ऐसे सोचिए कि ट्रेन जा रही है, उसके पास कुछ वेलोसिटी है, अगर किसी बॉल को आप ऊपर थ्रो करेंगे, जब ऊपर थ्रो करेंगे तो इट कंटेन्स द मोशन, मींस हॉरिजॉन्टल मोशन. और ये जब जो जिस थ्रोअर ने इसको फेंका है उसी थ्रोअर के हाथ में आके गिरेगी, आगे पीछे बॉल नहीं जाएगी. इट्स ओनली ड्यू टू द इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन. वी कैन राइट हियर फर्स्ट एग्जांपल, अ बॉल thrown upward in train moving with uniform velocity returns to रिटर्न्स टू थ्रोअर, वो थ्रोअर के पास ही आएगा। लेकिन इसमें कंडीशन क्या हो जाएगा कि बॉडी शुड मूव विथ यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी। अगर वो एक्सेलरेट करेगा तब तो कंडीशन दूसरी हो जाएगी। अगर यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी से जा रहा है तो वो बॉल उसी थ्रोअर के हाथ में आके गिरेगी। ओके, द सेकंड केस we are means second application we can, there are lots of application, we are just means discussing only the important applications. Okay, so you can go through the book, you can study these the applications of basically the inertia of motion. Okay, a man jumping from moving train or bus, moving train और बस, अगर चलती हुई ट्रेन या चलती हुई बस से अगर इंसान जो है कूदता है तो वो क्या करेगा, वो क्या करेगा, वो फॉरवर्ड जर्क फील करेगा, मींस दैट विल ही विल फॉल फॉरवर्ड ड्यू टू द इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन। अ मैन जंपिंग फ्रॉम मूविंग ट्रेन और बस फॉल्स फॉरवर्ड ड्यू टू inertia of motion, due to inertia of motion. In third example, we can say the third example, an athlete runs, okay, before taking the long jump. An athlete runs some distance before taking a long jump, before taking a long jump. अगर लॉन्ग जंप के पहले वो दौड़ लेगा तो उसमें होगा क्या कि ड्यू टू द इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन ही विल कवर द मैक्सिमम हॉरिजॉन्टल डिस्टेंस। ओके, so before long jump, and due to this man will travel more horizontal distance due to inertia of motion. It's only due to the inertia of motion. So this was your inertia of motion. Now coming to the inertia of direction. The third one is your inertia of direction. So what is basically the inertia of direction? कि अगर कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट किसी पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है तो उसकी डायरेक्शन वो कंटिन्यूड रहेगी जब तक हम उस पर कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स नहीं लगाएंगे, या फिर उसकी डायरेक्शन इसलिए चेंज नहीं होगी क्योंकि इट्स ओनली ड्यू टू द इनर्शिया ऑफ डायरेक्शन, कि वो डायरेक्शन चेंज करने के लिए क्या करेगा, रजिस्ट करेगा। मतलब किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट की डायरेक्शन अपने आप चेंज नहीं होगी अकॉर्डिंग टू द इनर्शिया ऑफ डायरेक्शन। ओके, तो वी कैन राइट हियर इट इज inability, it is inability of body by virtue of which it cannot change its direction of motion by itself. ओके, सो अगर किसी पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं तो वो डायरेक्शन आपकी क्या रहेगी, कंटिन्यू रहेगी। ओके, सो इसका एग्जांपल भी ये लिख सकते हैं। इसका एग्जांपल देखिए, दो तरीके से डिस्कस करेंगे। एक फोर्स लग रहा होगा तो वो पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन में कोई ऑब्जेक्ट जाएगा, अगर वो फोर्स हट जाएगा तो वो उसकी डायरेक्शन चेंज हो जाएगी। या दूसरा हम डिस्कस करेंगे कि अगर कोई कार है 60 टर्न लेता है हाई स्पीड पे, तो ड्राइवर टेंड्स टू गेट थ्रोन अदर साइड ड्यू टू द डायरेक्शनल इनर्शिया। ओके, so we can write here when a car makes a sharp turn at high speed, the driver tends to get thrown to other side due to directional inertia. Okay, another example we can say, if a stone is tied with a string, if a stone is tied with a string and it is rotated, once the string will be cut, then stone will move linearly. लीनियरली क्यों मूव करेगा कि अभी तक हम लोग फोर्स लगा रहे थे अंदर की तरफ, ये कुछ ऐसा सीन था, देखिए ये यहाँ पे इसको हम लोग टेंशन अंदर की तरफ लग रहा था, दिस टेंशन वाज प्रोवाइडिंग यू सेंट्रीपिटल फोर्स। जैसे आपने टेंशन जीरो कर दिया तो इसको सेंट्रीपिटल फोर्स मिलेगा नहीं, तो इसकी डायरेक्शन ऑटोमेटिक स्ट्रेट हो जाएगी। मतलब अगर कोई पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन जा रहा है तो ये अपने आप उस डायरेक्शन को चेंज नहीं करेगा, इसका डायरेक्शन तभी चेंज होगा जब हम लोग फोर्स को चेंज करेंगे। So this is basically the inertia of direction we have discussed so far. Okay, so these were the cases of the, you can say, the inertia and its type. Now we are going to discuss about the momentum. Before discussing the Newton's second law of motion, we should discuss about the momentum. Okay, what is momentum, how it is going to change, okay, how this means how, what are the different factors on which it depends. Let's come to that. Linear momentum. The motion contained in a body is known as momentum of body, or in other words, momentum of body, or in other words, the product of mass and velocity. The product of mass and velocity is also known as momentum. So why we are using term linear momentum? It is applicable, means whatever the momentum we are discussing here, this is applicable for the straight line. So this is the case, suppose this is the body, it's having mass m and it is moving with velocity v. So linear momentum P is equal to mv. So this P is your linear momentum. This is your linear momentum. And m is mass of the body, v is the velocity. So we can write here the linear momentum is a vector quantity. It's a vector quantity. So what will have what will be the direction of this? The direction will be along the velocity. Momentum have direction along the velocity. So if you are talking about this, we are just going to discuss about the different graphs of the this you can say the momentum graph related with this momentum. Suppose we are just going to draw the three graphs P and V, means linear momentum versus V. If m is going to constant, this will be the state dependency. It means what? If mass is constant, you are increasing velocity, then this linear momentum will be directly proportional to the velocity. Okay, so if velocity will increase, the momentum of object will going to increase. So in another case, if you are saying that this is linear momentum and this is, let's say, mass is going to increase, and here once again you are writing here the velocity is going to constant. If velocity is going to constant, this momentum will directly proportional to the mass. As mass increases, the linear momentum of object increases. In another case, if it is P, and we are talking about now, not it's P, it's a, let's say, mass and velocity. Now you are saying that momentum is going to constant. So if momentum is constant, so this graph will be your rectangular hyperbola, because this will be the case. M is inversely proportional to V. If mass is going to be lesser, then velocity will be greater. If velocity is greater, the mass will be lesser. This will be the case when momentum is going to be constant. So dear students, in the next class, we will be discussing about the Newton's second law of motion. Because before starting the Newton's second law of motion, you should aware with this linear momentum, and you should also aware with change in linear momentum. Because the momentum is your vector quantity. If you are talking about the change in linear momentum, then you should be aware with subtraction of the vector. So this is about the today's class. We'll be discussing and we'll be continuing more in the next class. That's it for today. Thank you.